Ah, good old Walt Disney. What's that quote of his that everyone uses when talking about Disneyland attractions? Thanks, Disney Wiki. I couldn't agree with that more, and I'm going to go further to suggest that you can't have new things unless you make room for them. Let's face it, with the unprecedented events of the not-too-distant past and the fact that Disneyland remained closed for the longest it ever has been, we've all had a lot of extra time on our hands to daydream and think about what could change in the park and what the future of Disneyland will be. I thought I'd take a chance and do a little armchair imagineering myself to bring you 5 rides that need to be bulldozed right now at Disneyland. Now, this isn't necessarily about suggesting a replacement for each one of these, but more about why they need to go. Unless Disney wants to cut me a check, then I'll have a go at it. First up on the chopping block, the America Sings building. This poor building hasn't been a full-fledged attraction since 1988. And then after that, most of the attractions inside were gutted to become another attraction that has far more lasting power, so to speak. That's a whole other video. This building has had more facelifts than a Kardashian, and each new incarnation of some semblance of an attraction here has been a steady parade of yawn. Innoventions quickly became an outdated video game market, and the thrown together Star Wars launch base, we've already got a full-fledged shopping mall at the other end of the park for Star Wars stuff. And the second floor of the building hasn't been properly utilized in a very long time. When I was a character entertainer at the park, all the offices were up there. I would go up there to get my schedule. And here's a fun factoid. Long after the attraction was gutted, the Deep South scene and auditorium was used as a character performer break area. This building hasn't had a really cohesive attraction idea for a very long time, and I think it's time to finally bid it adieu. Coming in at number 4 is none other than that attraction from a galaxy far, far away, Star Tours. Don't flip out. I'm not actually suggesting that this ride gets bulldozed and taken away, but come on. Disneyland now has a full-fledged land dedicated to Star Wars. Either absorb elements of this ride into Smuggler's Run or move the entire attraction itself all the way over to Galaxy's Edge. Get this IP all in one place once and for all and open up new room for ideas and concepts. And if this happens, they need to fine-tune the storytelling on this ride as well, because in regards to timeline, it's an incoherent mess. How do you go from a scene in The Empire Strikes Back to Leia in her Episode 4 outfit to the Clone Wars all in the same ride? It has to be better. Not to mention, this technology really is passé and kind of outdated. I mean, you could find this kind of ride at the mall. I guess while we're on the topic of attractions that don't necessarily need to go away, but just need to go somewhere else, let's talk about my number 3 choice, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Don't even get me started on the ousting of the Country Bear Jamboree when they were replaced with this pile of neurotic stuffed animals with various hang-ups. In case it's not clear, I'm not a fan of the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Regardless of that, these characters aren't remotely critters, they're toys. The 100 Acre Woods is an imaginary place in Christopher Robin's mind. It's critter country, not Teddy Bear Terrace. The theming on this is totally off. You want to know an animated Disney film that takes place in New Orleans, has critters, and doesn't yet have its own committed dark ride to match the style of the other ones in both Disneyland and California Adventure? Yeah, Princess and the Frog. Gut the 100 Acre Woods and put a Tiana ride in there. And leave Splash Mountain alone. Woo! I better cool down after that one. And there's no better way to do that than head to the refreshing waters of the high sea when I give you my next suggestion of a ride that could be bulldozed right now, Nemo's Submarine Voyage. I loved the original version of the Submarine Voyage as a kid, and I'm always going to argue that there was nothing like the 3D props and practical effects in this fascinating attraction. I might have had a mild case of submechanophobia as a young lad, so this ride both fascinated and scared the crap out of me. The Submarine Voyage was a winner. There was nothing else to match it in the park. So when the attraction changed to Nemo, I thought it would be a good blend of animatronics and projections. Well, that didn't seem to be the case.
Hello and good day. This is your captain speaking. Remember when this lagoon used to be teeming with aquatic life? Well, those days are over. We figured if we put in a lot of bubbles and ruins that you would think this is interesting. Oh, look, a diver. How you going, mate? If you look out your window right now, you'll see absolutely nothing. And I hope you're ready for a lot of regurgitated footage from the film Finding Nemo. Remember Bruce the shark? There he is, and there he goes. And look at this. Is it the deep end of a swimming pool? No, it's just a room we didn't bother to theme. But we put a big scary monster fish in it, so we hope you wouldn't notice. Alright, here's Dory doing some stupid shit. Jellyfish, crabs, you get the idea. Have a great day here at Disneyland.
It's basically just some projections with some underwater scenery. There's hardly any interactive element to it at all. If I wanted to watch a movie while being submerged, I'd watch Disney Plus through a glass of water. My opinion? I think it's time for this ride to go on a long swim. Well, we've made it to the number one spot of attractions that I think should hit the road, so to speak. You see what I did there? You're all so smart, you probably guessed it at the very beginning of the video. But yes, my number one choice for an attraction to be bulldozed right now is Autopia. This outdated, smog-spewing attraction takes up approximately 5,382 acres in the park. I might be off by a few on that. And in this day and age, it just doesn't really have a lot of guest payoff. Besides the fact that it's probably an insurance liability nightmare for the park, this is the land of fantasy and tomorrow. The whole point is that we're leaving the normal world we live in behind to have experiences we don't most of the time. Think about it, you probably drove to the park in a cramped car with your family in traffic. Now you're gonna go to Disneyland and drive some more? On a one-way track with no alternate routes? And at the mercy of the person in front of you? Yeah, that's cute. And you know, we do have a Cars Land. Just go over there if you want to drive. Look, the fact of the matter is, this ride is just simply outdated, and it takes up way too much room to justify its appeal. Just as a point of reference, take a look at this aerial shot of Disneyland. Now take a look at how much room the America Sings building, Nemo's Submarine Voyage, and Autopia collectively take up. There's not even enough room to capture all that space in this one picture. Think about all the amazing new attractions that should be coming our way if we just had that room. I know as fans we get very hung up about changing or eliminating rides that were very close to Walt Disney's heart. But in all honesty, I think even he would realize it's time to move on. I know, most of the rides that I mentioned happen to be in Tomorrowland, but I'm certainly not the only one talking about this. Maybe that means that all signs are pointing to what needs the most attention in Disneyland right now. Alright, fellow armchair Imagineers, now it's time to hear from you. What would you love to see go or reimagined in the park? Let me know in the comments below. I want to invite you to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. I'm really glad you're here and I've got more on the way. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Alright, let's see how this goes. See? Look, watch. What? Oh, I'm on Nemo! It's Nemo! See, look how much fun that is. Yeah. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. Come on, you know the words. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, if you take Autopia away. Hey!